All right, folks, here are the results of the bedroom and the wallet quiz for actually the 11 o'clock class. As you take a look at this plane up here, and I'll zoom in and out as it's relevant, you'll notice up here that this vertical line is actually the bedroom line. So up here at the top, what you'll see is a positive for bedroom. Positive means that the government you're interested in the government regulating bedroom or moral issues. If you scroll down here to the bottom, you'll notice the minus bedroom down here. And if you score in this area, you're going to believe minus the government should stay out or not regulate bedroom or wallet issues. Now, to put this into context a little bit, here is the bottom half of this graph. If you scored below the horizontal line, then indeed you folks are going to believe that the government needs to stay out of bedroom issues. If you scored in the upper piece of this graph, this is going to mean that you believe that the government should regulate, moral or bedroom type issues. This horizontal line is a little bit different in that this horizontal line is going to be dealing with the wallet. If you scored on the right-hand side of the vertical line, this means that you are going to believe that the government should regulate economic issues, meaning take from the rich and give to the poor, do a little bit of the Robin Hood, if you will. Having said this, if you come over here to the other side where it's minus wallet, you folks are actually going to believe that the government should stay out of economic issues, meaning if you're able to earn an awful lot of money, for instance, you should be able to keep it, and it should not be the government's business. Now, let's deal with these specific quadrants, and I'll start down here in the bottom right-hand quadrant. If you scored in the bottom right-hand quadrant, you're going to believe that the government should regulate the wallet or economic issues, and you're equally going to believe that the government should stay out of the bedroom or stay out of the moral issues. If you folks believe that the government should regulate economics and stay out of moral issues, then you folks are what are known as my liberals. Okay, if you look here, there's Greg, Ryan, and Chris. There's Dustin, Jackie, Sophia, and Debbie. All of you scored as fair to moderate to, in some instances, fairly strong liberals. And it really depends sometimes on the issue. Now, what you'll notice up here, Greg, I'll start with you. On 4 of the 7 questions, you said that the government needed to regulate the wallet. On 4 of the 7 questions, you believe that the government should stay out of moral or bedroom issues. In other words, you are a very moderate liberal. Probably depending upon the issue, you lean liberal, but you could be very moderate, again, depending upon what issue it is. Now, to contrast that with Chris over here, Chris and Ryan, Chris particularly, you are the grand champion. On 7 of the 7 economic issues, Chris, you believe that the government needed to regulate. In other words, you believe that the government should give people help on purchasing their first home. You believe that the government should actually take from the rich and give to the poor like Robin Hood. So people should be taxed more if indeed they earn more. On 7 of 7, Chris, you are a very strong economic liberal. Having said this, when it comes to moral issues, you're on the exact same line as Greg, 1 line down below from the horizontal line, which basically means on 4 of the 7 questions, you believe that the government should stay out of the bedroom, although it's very, very moderate, probably depending upon the issue. Now, Debbie, you are actually the exact opposite. On 4 of the 7 questions, you believe that the government should regulate economic issues. Having said this, on 6 of the 7 questions, you believed that the government should stay out of the moral issues. So Debbie, and maybe this isn't a surprise based on the STD discussions we've had, you are very, very liberal as far as moral bedroom type issues, and you believe that the government should stay out of your business. But when it comes to economics, you're a little bit more in favor of government regulation. At least you're moderate in that area, but you're extremely liberal on social issues. Now, to flip the script, so to speak, on this, some of you are going to believe that instead of regulating the wallet, the government should stay out of it. You're going to believe that if you're good enough or qualified enough or educated enough to be able to earn an awful lot of money, it should be you that keeps that money and not the government taking it from you. Having said this, you're also going to believe that the government should regulate moral or bedroom issues, meaning when it comes to issues like school prayer, or when it comes to issues like abortion, or when it comes to issues like same-sex marriage, the government can make better decisions than the people can for themselves. If you fell up here in this upper left-hand quadrant, meaning you believe that the government should regulate morals, and you believe that the government should stay out of the wallet issues, you folks are what are known as my conservatives. And in this upper left-hand corner, I've got one person that was nameless, but I've got Nam, John P., I've got Mark, and I've got Shema all up here. Now again, when you focus on this center area, Nam and John P., on 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should regulate the bedroom issues. On 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should stay out of the wallet or economic issues. So basically, you are very moderate conservatives. Probably you could end up in all 4 of these boxes, depending upon which issue comes before you, but you lean slightly conservative. Shema, on the other hand, you actually scored as a good, solid conservative. On 5 of the 7 questions, you actually answered that the government should regulate the moral issues. On 5 of the 7 questions, Shema, you actually scored that the government should stay out of the wallet. So with this in mind, good, solid conservative, in fact, of the people scored, you were the strongest one in terms of conservatism. Now, to carry this down to the bottom left-hand quadrant, some of you are going to believe that the government needs to stay out of the wallet or the economic issues, and some of you are going to believe that the government needs to stay out of the bedroom or moral issues. If you believe that the government should stay out of both areas, you are going to be what is known as a libertarian. And when you look at this, there's John R., there's Luis, there's Natasha, and there's Laura. All 4 of you scored as libertarians. John R. and Luis, on 4 of the 7, you said that the government should stay out of your economic business. On 4 of the 7, you said the government should stay out of your moral business. You, again, depending upon the issue, could have ended up in any of these 4 boxes. But you lean libertarian, meaning you lean slightly toward individual freedom over government power. Natasha, you and Laura scored a little differently. Natasha, on 5 of the 7, you believed that the government should stay out of your moral business. And Laura, same way. On 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should stay out of economic business. So basically what this boils down to is that you are good, solid, moral libertarians, bedroom libertarians. Having said this, you are moderate libertarians when it comes to economic issues. Now, lastly, and this is the biggest category for this class, and oftentimes I haven't seen it this big since I lived in the South, but there are going to be some of you that are going to believe that the government needs to regulate the bedroom issues. Some of you are going to believe that the government needs to regulate the bedroom issues. And by the same token, some of you are going to believe that the government needs to also regulate wallet issues. You folks are basically going to argue that the government can make better decisions than people can for themselves. And when Joe and Jane Sixpack, average American citizens, need help, the government is really the only one that can provide it for them. You folks are what are known as my populists. You believe that the government should control more elements of society because for whatever reason, people themselves are not responsible enough to be able to make these decisions. So when you look down here, there's Ed and Mona. Ed and Mona, and you look at this square, all of you here, Nam, John P., John R., Luis, Greg, Ed, and Mona, depending upon the issue or the question you get, you scored so moderate that quite frankly you could have ended up in any of these 4 boxes. But for Ed and Mona, you two are basically going to lean in a populist direction. You're going to lean more toward government intervention. To take a couple of steps further, here's Nunu over here. Nunu, on 6 of the 7 questions, you believe that the government should regulate economic issues, take from the rich, give to the poor, tax the folks that earn the most taxes. Having said this, on only 4 of the 7 did you believe that the government should regulate morals. So basically, you are a very strong economic populist, but you are only a very moderate moral one. As you go up the line, here you'll see Christian N, Josie, and Karis. For Christian N, Josie, and Karis, all 3 of you basically scored on 6 of the 7 questions that the government should regulate moral issues. Again, things like school prayer. Again, things like abortion or things like same-sex marriage. Now, where you differ is the government's role in the economy. Christian N and Josie, you both actually scored on 5 of the 7 that the government should regulate wallet or economic issues. Karis, if you were 6 of 7 in terms of regulating moral issues, you are now also 6 of 7 in terms of the government regulating economic or wallet issues, which basically boils down to, when you think about it, if you believe that the government should have such a dominant role, you have the danger of basically becoming what is known as a dictator. Christian, Josie, Karis, and to a lesser extent Travis, all of you would appear to have serious control issues. So you got to be careful about this. As a populist, you believe that the government can make better decisions for people than they can for themselves. You're trying to make these decisions to help, but sometimes that want or need to help overshadows actual positive contributions and you become a little bit too authoritarian. If y'all have any questions about this for the exam, please make sure that you understand this relationship between wallet and bedroom and the four ideologies. One more time, if you're a liberal, liberals are going to believe in regulating the wallet and staying out of the bedroom. Libertarians are going to believe in staying out of both of the bedroom and the wallet, meaning as little government regulation as possible. Conservatives in the upper left-hand corner are going to believe that the government should regulate morals and generally that the government should stay out of the wallet. And then we have our populists, our dictators, our control issue folks. You're going to believe that the government should regulate morals, and you're going to believe that the government should regulate the wallet because the government can make better decisions than the people can for themselves. And of course, if you get this test question, Karis is most likely to be the dictator in the class.